A decorated retired Navy fighter pilot is taking his personal experience with addiction, PTSD, and depression, as well as friends who've died by suicide, to try to help veterans on a similar troubled path. He calls it the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. And we are honored this morning to have Top Gun pilot Matthew Whiz Buckley, who joins us now with more on his story and the foundation. Matthew, good morning.
Good morning, Janice. Thank you for having me and putting a spotlight on this just absolutely critical issue.
It is very important. You flew FA-18 fighter jets for, what, 15 plus years. Did you feel like that was your identity when it was all over?
Well, absolutely, Janet. The military does a great job of breaking you down from what you were before you joined the military, and they build you up into what they need. But sadly, after the military's done with you, they do a pretty bad job of transitioning back to that human being that you were. So yeah, when you separate from the military, you kind of lose that sense of brotherhood, that mission, that reason to get up, and the transition to the civilian world can be tough for many veterans.
And for you, and you can explain this to our viewers, you actually were very successful in your original transition, is that correct? And then you started dealing with the depression and the PTSD. Talk about that for us.
Well, exactly. I had a very brief airline career. The morning of September 11th was scheduled for my first and, I guess, last trip for American Airlines. Instead, I raced out to Naval Air Station Fort Worth, and I was manning a combat air patrol. So I went from potentially flying in an airliner that day to shooting one down. So instead of the airlines, I went to Wall Street. And I got to be honest with you, Janice, going from a fighter squadron where you trust the men and women with your life in that organization, or they're not a part of it, to a Wall Street firm where I couldn't trust somebody to watch my wallet for 5 minutes. I really lost my sense of mission, got disconnected from my beautiful bride, my God, my family, focusing on the money. So the success kind of masked what was going on underneath.
And so then what started happening? You started feeling the depression? Were you experiencing the PTSD?
Well, absolutely. Well, Janice, a lot of folks that go in the military didn't have a great childhood. I was sexually abused as a child. I lost my beautiful sister Monica at the age of 19 to a drunk driver. So I had a pretty tough childhood.
You were already dealing with some things.
Already dealing with some things, and then flying fighters for 15 years, I lost 16 buddies. And then along the way, I've lost 4 F-18 brothers to suicide. And in addition to that, Janice, as you've probably seen Maverick or Top Gun, pulling G's, the body's not designed to do that. So there's physical trauma involved, fighting the jet on the edge of consciousness. And then landing as a naval aviator aboard an aircraft carrier was literally a car crash. I've had hundreds of car crashes. So the emotional, the physical, all that stuff was kind of swirling into some badness, some dark nights of the soul. And 5 years ago, God dropped some things in my life that completely saved and changed my life.
So tell us about the foundation, how it made a difference, and how you feel like you can help others and have helped others already.
So I don't know if your viewers have seen the movie Lone Survivor or read the book about the Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell. So 5 years ago, I went down to Mexico. Why? Because if you do it in the United States, you're a felon. If you do it an hour south of San Diego, it'll save and change your life. So me, Marcus, one of the founders of Black Rifle Coffee, JT, another Navy SEAL, and me, went down to Mexico, and we sat with the most powerful psychedelic on the planet. And I'll just give you the cliff notes real quick. It wasn't fun. It wasn't recreational. I've done some challenging things in my life, Janice. This was up there with one of the most challenging. 14-hour experience. I reconnected with God. He had never left me. My sister, my dad who had passed, and Janice, I was a drinker, and I couldn't even look at or smell alcohol for up to a year after I sat with Ibogaine. It saved and changed my life. And I got home and I said, this is how we're going to end veteran suicide. So we started the No Fallen Heroes Foundation to give grants to veterans, first responders, and their families to go sit with these compounds.
So how can folks find out more information if they are interested in this?
Absolutely. Go to nofallenheroes.com. Up on the top right, it'll say apply for a grant, and we're here for you. Janice, healing is possible. There is a way out. If you're a veteran, first responder, or family member, the world's a much better place with you in it. Now, I'm living proof that healing is possible.
Matthew, thank you so much. Thank you for your service, sir, and we're so glad you're doing okay.
Thanks, Janice. God bless. Appreciate it.
God bless you as well.